Hello everybody, I'm OCDsaster, and in today's video, we're going to talk about what if Omega Force, the creators behind Age of Calamity and Persona 5 Strikers, created a Kingdom Hearts title. I know that's a little bit odd and different from the content I normally do on this channel, but I thought it'd be unique enough to discuss. Now, full disclaimer, I have not actually played a Omega Force game. I have played the demo for Age of Calamity. I personally didn't like it too much, but my good friend over at Rhythmsy Games has played it along with Persona 5 Strikers. Please go ahead and show him some support after watching this video. Check out his channel along with some playthroughs of those Omega Force games. From my understanding, Omega Force takes these popular IPs such as The Legend of Zelda, Persona, Fire Emblem, and does their own little spin on it, but still stays true to that property's world and environments. But you get to play as multiple playable characters that you normally can't in those games, and you fight off hordes of enemies, and it's more of like a masher and a horde battle sort of style versus what the games normally are, such as the original Breath of the Wild being an adventure game and the Persona 5 and Fire Emblem games being turn-based RPGs from their original games. When it comes down to it, Kingdom Hearts actually makes perfect sense as a franchise for Omega Force to take on because it is the blend of both of these styles, an adventure game along with the action RPG style. But Kingdom Hearts is real-time, it's not turn-based, and there is a lot of button mashing. It's kind of a meme with the series, so it actually even fits gameplay-wise perfectly. Now, this video isn't about the possibility of an Omega Force Kingdom Hearts game. That's not the point. I actually don't see that happening. This is kind of an alternative thought experiment, if you will. So obviously you have your horde of enemies. Kingdom Hearts has a plethora of heartless nobodies unversed to pick from as these hordes of enemies. You could even take from Kingdom Hearts 3's Demon Tides and Demon Towers if you really want to get fancy with it. However, I had a problem figuring out where the story would be for this Omega Force Kingdom Hearts game. When thinking about what story to follow for the Kingdom Hearts Omega Force crossover, I actually had Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days floating in my head at first, because that game, not only do a lot of people want a remake from it, we got a cinematic, but that didn't do as much justice. We haven't seen it since the DS days, but you got to play as the organization members, who are debatably some of the most popular characters in the Kingdom Hearts series. They have very interesting character designs. They each have very different weapons and play styles. So my mind immediately went there first, because that would be pretty crazy to go in and kind of do a reimagining of this game. It wouldn't be a remake that so many people want, but it would at least be something to that nature. To be fair, minor spoilers for Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, that game actually takes place in like a parallel universe sort of thing, to my knowledge, from the original base Breath of the Wild games. So they could even do something like that for the Kingdom Hearts Omega Force hypothetical game. Nomura does really like them alternate universes. I decided to contact a fellow content creator who, by the way, was a supporter and called Sora for Smash and never let go of the dream and was absolutely right. Obese Rob, you should definitely go over and check his channel out and support his stuff. He also does the World Ends With You content. He is kind of like my go-to guy when it comes to Kingdom Hearts lore. He's the bee's knees, I guess is the expression, when it comes to this kind of thing. So I wanted to get his input on 358 over 2 days, possibly being this hypothetical reimagining or whatever. Yeah, he said no. He is a fan, a big fan of 358 over 2 days. I don't know why I don't just call it days. A lot of people call it days. I don't know why I feel like I have to put out the numbers. I feel like it's because it's such an arbitrary title. Well, it isn't once you actually think about it, because it's like there's 300. And anyway, so he said that in days, it's very stealth mission based. You play as the organization and you're trying to infiltrate these types of heartless, these specific types of enemies, and it's more of like an assassination style type of game, and that wouldn't necessarily fit with the style of Omega Force. So I had to go back to the drawing board. And that got me thinking about Yozora and wondering, what if we got a kind of prequel lead-in to Kingdom Hearts 4, where we play as Yozora and his team in either Quadratum or in Virum Rex, which was the intro to the Toy Box world in Kingdom Hearts 3 to everyone's surprise. It was such a crazy opening scene and cinematic. It was absolutely crazy. And that kind of gives us a little hint to what this hypothetical Omega Force Virum Rex game would be, because you would have these armies of mecha suits, and you could play as Yozora and a bunch of his different team members with different styles of fighting and different weapons, and just go to town. And it would fulfill a few things. It would fill in the blanks and the puzzle pieces to who Yozora is, because we only get bits and pieces from his final boss battle in Kingdom Hearts 3. But you also get to flush out this world before playing Kingdom Hearts 4. You get to flush out Quadratum before you even make it there as Sora. So you kind of get a little bit more experience with the layout, with the land. And I think that would be absolutely cool and super fun. Yozora does even mention trials that he had to go through. And he's kind of, it seems like he's talking nonsense when you're confronting him for the first time in Kingdom Hearts 3. But that's kind of the point. It's kind of like the mystery box that we have to solve. But this could be a part of it. They don't have to solve the whole thing. We don't have to know everything that happens. But it would be cool to kind of get this little prelude, I guess you could say, to the adventure that will be in Kingdom Hearts 4. The issue with this being, it's not really a Kingdom Hearts game at that point then. It would be very confusing for brand identity, because you're not playing as Sora or Riku or Kairi or any of the really known characters. Heck, there wouldn't even be really Disney worlds to our knowledge for this hypothetical game. So I kind of had to scrap that idea, sadly. I think it would be really cool, but at the same time, like I said, it can't really fit in with what we're trying to do here. So then I went back to my good friend Rhythmzy Games, and I brainstormed with him, because like I said, he's the expert when it comes to these Omega Force games, and he said what he could see fitting in, and I also kind of went back with Obese Rob on it as well, and we all kind of came to this sort of agreement where it could be a sort of thing where it's right before Kingdom Hearts 3, so Sora's missing, but you get to play as everybody else kind of searching for Sora, and maybe because Sora's gone, the enemies are stronger and bigger and, you know, more of a quantity. And so you have your different sections, your different branches of Kingdom Hearts characters. You have the Twilight Gang, so you'll have like Xion, Lee, and Sayax as a whole thing over there. Did I already forget Roxas in that little group? Anyway, the group keeps expanding. You have all of them over in Twilight Town, and so that's one world where you're doing them, and you're fighting that sanction. And then when you go over to a different side, you're in the realm of darkness with Riku and King Mickey, so you're there dealing with stuff there. And then you could go over and start doing other things with Aqua and Ven and Terra. You could even throw Kairi in there, because Kairi told Yen Sid at the end of Melody of Memory that she wanted to train with Aqua, so you could kind of fill in that story fulfillment there. I think this makes the most sense, except Sora wouldn't be in the game, and it's not really a Kingdom Hearts game without Sora. However, Nomura did say in his interview a few weeks ago that the main titles focus on Sora, so I guess you could make the argument that since this wouldn't be a main Kingdom Hearts title, 1, 2, 3, 4, that Sora does not have to be included in this. I don't know, to me it just sounds kind of cute getting to play as all these side Kingdom Hearts characters and have them kind of have the forefront for once and try to be the heroes instead of Sora just being that sacrificial hero at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3. It doesn't negate his sacrifice, it just kind of amplifies what we're building up for in Kingdom Hearts 4, and I think it would be kind of cute, you know, just going around trying to find Sora, maybe doing certain things, because in Kingdom Hearts 3 there was this whole segment where Sora had to like awaken everyone's hearts again, and it couldn't be to this extent, but there could be like them going and trying to find pieces of Sora, these fragments of Sora in these different worlds, these different Disney worlds, the places that he's been, and it's kind of like a nostalgic thing as you're being badass and you're doing team takedowns and you're switching between characters that you thought you would never get to play as again. I don't know, that idea sounds really cool to me. This was just a silly, goofy think piece that I wanted to share with you guys. I want to know what you think, not only of my idea, but I want to know your creative ideas down below in the comments. So please let me know all the ideas you have for this hypothetical, never going to happen Omega Force Kingdom Hearts game. The world is your oyster. Thanks once again to Rhythmzy Games and Obese Rob for consulting with me for this mini project that I'm doing. Please go ahead and check those channels out when you get the chance and support their content. They're really good content creators. And thank you everyone for watching. please consider subscribing to the channel. It's absolutely free, and I have more Kingdom Hearts content down the pipeline. And yeah, that's gonna be it. I hope you let your hearts continue being your guiding key. Do you fucking see this shit? There's so many unnecessary tracks for this audio. It's driving my OCD absolutely bonkers. I'm actually going to do a pre-render just so that way I don't have to deal with all these fucking tracks.